Intelligent robots have been a human fantasy for a long time. We imagine highly sophisticated thinking machines, mechanical beings that can live alongside us, helping us with both the good and the bad. And today, this dream is quickly approaching reality. Up until now, robots have mostly been confined to executing repetitive physical tasks. They have not been meant to interact with humans. But thanks to technology and the development of artificial intelligence, a whole new range of robots is entering our society to live among us.
There's an entire world of robots. A revolution is starting. This explosion of intelligence can be applied to the objects of our everyday life.
The question is, what are we able to do and what do we want to do?
The robot isn't here to replace man, it's here to help man.
I know the relationship I have with my microwave. I know what type of relationship I have with my dog. But with a robot,
How can we learn to live with robots that have a certain level of intelligence, but they are neither average machines nor human?
It depends. They can either be used in the right way or in the wrong way.
We can expect to see our world transform with objects that are no longer just passive, but capable of interacting with humans.
Welcome to the world of humanized robots, a world we will have to reinvent. In Toulouse, France, the world's leader in robotics, the CNRS has its largest research facility. The Laboratory for the Architecture and Analysis of Systems, the LAAS, is located at the heart of the spacious scientific campus of L'Espinette. The laboratory's engineers are at the forefront of some of the world's most important advances in robotics. Down a long corridor, in an isolated lab, researchers are working on developing the interaction between human and robot. They are developing service-oriented robots that can interact with humans intelligently as well as autonomously. Introducing HRP2. This is a robot that looks just like the kind we dreamed of as children.
Everything all right, Maxime?
Aurélien?
Cerveau on.
Cerveau on.
Put it on the ground.
It is very agile and capable of moving by itself.
I'm ready.
Costing approximately 400,000 euros, it is secured by safety cables during development. Today, engineer Olivier Stas has given it a task, picking up an object from the ground. It is a simple, insignificant movement for a human, but it is actually extremely complex to recreate it using a robot.
It's something we do every day without thinking, but when we try to create a mathematical formula for it and try to envision the robot being anywhere in the world, in any type of house that could potentially have lots of objects on the ground, well, this is a problem that is very difficult to resolve. For just the robot itself, it's about maintaining its balance, avoiding collisions, and staying in one piece. And then, when the robot is with a human being, it's about being able to respond to the task that the person demands without harming anyone or anything.
In order for domestic robots to carry out tasks, they must be able to take a person's presence into account and to move intelligently in their environment. While Olivier is perfecting the mobility of the humanoid robot, another team is focusing on the interaction between man and machine with a robot named Jito.
Okay, we have something to do.
Jito is an arm with 2 cameras.
Okay.
Matthew Warnier, a young engineer, presents himself to Jito to begin interacting with it. As soon as Jito recognizes Matthew with its eyes, it can work with him on a specifically defined mission. In this case, placing tapes in a box.
You take yellow tape from table.
Okay, it has the object.
Okay. I take white tape from table.
What we are testing here is the robot's ability to perform a task in cooperation with the person. The robot is going to evaluate what it's able to do, what the person is able to do, what the person must do, because the robot itself is incapable. Finally, it will ask the person to do a specific part of the task, and it will take on the other part.
Okay. Project yellow tape in pink trash bin. Okay. I project white tape in pink trash bin.
It's a genuine exchange between Matthew and the machine. Here the robot and the person are truly working together.
Ah, there you go. It worked. The robot is capable of engaging interactively, one-on-one, regardless of the space. You can move the table and replace it with a lower table. You can change robots and select a different one, because we can input the program into the new robot, and it will behave properly. The capabilities we have developed aren't just linked to one robot or one situation.
Okay, we finished.
Computer algorithms allow the robot to both recognize objects and adapt to what's going on around it. This capability is essential if machines are going to help us on a daily basis. PR2 has these same capabilities, but it's also able to move. Looking like it stepped off the screen of a science fiction movie, this one might well be the first robot to leave the laboratory and enter our homes. But it won't be the only one. All over the world, other engineer-developed androids are ready to come knocking on our doors. Some robots, like this one named Justin, can master the preparation of a coffee with delicate precision. His wheels allow him to roll smoothly. This robot, developed by the German Aerospace Center, DLR, has the amazing ability to catch a ball. Its success rate is an impressive 80%. Armar, a creation by the German Institute KIT, is able to identify different foods, serve them, and then do the dishes. Of course, some of these movements may be a little slow as the technology is still being developed, but the dream of a personal assistant robot is coming true. The one that seems to be the closest to this notion today is Asimo. For 25 years, Japan's Honda Robotics has been developing humanoid robots and is one of the best in the field. One of the engineer's first projects was to master the human style of walking. The first prototype was nothing more than a square torso with a simple pair of articulating legs. Later, arms and a real body were added. On October 31st, 2000, the first Asimo was born. And for the past 12 years, they haven't stopped improving him.
Hello, nice to meet you.
I'm a bit thirsty. I would like a drink, a tea. And the command is sent.
I'm going to the bar.
I ordered my drink with my PDA. Asimo received my command and is taking care of it now at the bar, on his own. He will locate the bartender who is wearing a badge with an infrared transmission on it that Asimo can read.
Mr. Barman, I'm here to receive tea for Mr. William. I'm receiving drink for Mr. William. Okay, I'm going to the table. I came for a delivery.
Thanks, Asimo.
I brought tea.
Now he will place the tea on the table, and he will realize when the tray is safely on the table thanks to his sensors. And that will signal to him when to release his grip from the tray and to move away from the table. Thanks, Asimo.
Asimo has the ability to avoid people in his path, push a cart, serve a drink, go up and down stairs. He can even run.
The principle of walking for Asimo is quote-unquote intelligent. Thanks to an algorithm, it predicts where to place his center of gravity 1.5 steps in advance. So in order to walk, he holds himself permanently off balance, more or less as we do. This gives an indication of how quick the processors have to be.
This biped robot's movement imitates a human's. The technology enables it to be so human-like, you think that there is a person controlling it from the inside.
We have a real physical contact with the robot. Something is happening. It's not just a machine anymore. He reacts, we interact. We know that it's a machine, but since it looks like us, maybe it's just natural to project human emotions onto a machine that resembles us so closely. Thanks, Asimo.
The fact that Asimo will soon be available for purchase is basically heralding the arrival of humanoid robots in our homes. These human machines are becoming a Japanese trademark. And the field's leading expert is Professor Hiroshi Ishiguro. In his lab at the University of Osaka, there are many of these prototypes he has developed over the years. One of them looks just like a human baby. His name, CB2. Covered with 200 tactile sensors and artificial gray skin, CB2 can simulate the behavior of a baby. Measuring 1.3 meters and weighing in at 33 kilograms, this big baby reacts to noise, makes eye contact, rolls over, waves its arms and legs. It can even take a few steps with the help of its human parents. CB2 will serve as an educational tool for future mothers and midwives. Hiroshi Ishiguro is interested in creating robots that resemble humans as much as possible. They look so human that it is almost disturbing and yet fascinating. He's passionate about creating female robots. Their lifelike appearance is almost unbelievable.
Hello, my name is Reply Q2. Robots that are able to integrate human society and communicate in a natural way will soon become a new means of communication.
As you can see, my humanoid robot is almost human. It looks human, and it reacts like a human. Look, when I touch her like this, she doesn't like it. And when I put my hand on her shoulder...
Hey, what are you doing?
These robotic women possess an impressive range of facial expressions, imitating most human emotions. They could potentially fill the role of a hostess or a TV presenter one day, perhaps even taking the place of human beings. The professor has even created a robot twin that he hopes one day will be able to attend meetings for him. It's a type of avatar, and it allows him to have a remote presence. His idea is to have a robot that looks just like you that you can control remotely from your own home. This machine essentially becomes an extension of yourself. Today, you can transport yourself through robots so that you can function remotely. The technology has been a rapidly expanding phenomenon in Asia, and it is now beginning to spread to other territories. At the Clinique Courlancy in Reims, France, a mysterious creature strolls the hallways, encountering both nurse staff and patients.
Bonjour. Bonjour, Monsieur Hera. Bonjour, Émile.
Through this atypical robot called Jazz, a real surgeon is checking in on his patients.
Hello, doctor.
I've come to see how you're doing.
Pretty well.
I'm checking your urine now and everything looks good. I think we can remove the catheter tomorrow.
Thanks.
See you tomorrow. Have a good day.
Thanks so much.
Okay, goodbye.
This is Dr. Alan Herard, a well-known urological surgeon.
Hello, everybody. All in unison. Fantastic.
Friday, the doctor is operating on a patient with prostate cancer.
Parfait.
As he is on the cutting edge of technology, for this microsurgery, he is using a very sophisticated robot called Da Vinci. Placed 3 meters from the patient, the doctor uses its controls to move Da Vinci's arms.
You have to become one with the machine. I'm far away from my patient, but I'm in contact through the machine. It's the interaction between man and machine which is interesting.
Da Vinci remains completely controlled by Alan Herard. It does not function on its own, so there is zero risk for the patient.
There are sensors there. You hear the beep, which means that the robot knows that my face is in the console and that I can see. If I do this and I step back, everything is blocked. That means that now it can't move. There is a safety lock. In order to command it, I have to get close again. The robot knows that I'm looking through the console, so now I can use the instruments. Okay, there you go. That's a good start.
The Courlancy Clinic was one of the first in France to use robotics in surgery. Today, more than 50 surgical robots are used in France.
You see the advantage of remote surgery? I can operate and do other things at the same time. Hello? Yes, I'm listening. 30 seconds? Yes. Yes. If it continues to bleed, we'll have to do radiotherapy.
It's only logical that this highly sought-after surgeon has chosen to use another new robot called Jazz.
Okay, right away.
He has just received an emergency call, so he leaves the operating room and enters his office to connect to Jazz via Wi-Fi. There is a patient at the other end of the clinic who needs his opinion.
Hello.
So I did a scan. Can I show it to you?
Yes, please. Go ahead. A little closer. Okay, in fact, there is a little something to analyze at the very bottom. There it is. It's nothing urgent. I would say it's nearly ready to be removed. There's no need to be hospitalized, though. She can go home and take a regular painkiller. Nothing to worry about. The robot Da Vinci allows us to optimize the surgical procedure as an extension of my hand. And Jazz is the extension of my eyes and my voice for consultations. You can take your medicine for 4 to 5 days, and within 24 to 48 hours you should be feeling 100% better. Take care now, and goodbye. Being a surgeon is an all-consuming job. You have to be in the office, in the emergency room, seeing patients, consulting. You work in several establishments, and the idea is to have an avatar. This little robot represents us when we aren't able to be somewhere.
Can a robot be a solution for surgeons in high demand? So far, the idea seems to be well received by patients.
Everyone can benefit from it. The patient over there and me here. The doctor can intervene in both situations. He can prescribe medicine, even at a distance. He can take care of me.
I don't feel less close to my patients because I communicate through Jazz. I don't feel less close to my patients because I operate through Da Vinci, or even if I use other robots.
However, not all medical staff are completely convinced.
For me, I prefer the real Dr. Gerard because the robot is new. Afterwards, though, I think it just takes time to get used to. Once you've seen it a few times, it'll be all right. But as of right now, I'm still a bit skeptical.
The fact that there are more and more robots in our lives, I don't think it means it's going to change the relationships between human beings or that robots will replace human beings. The robot will never replace a human, never, or at least I don't think so.
What is certain is that robots already walk among us without interfering. Much. Robots like Jazz are completely controlled by us. They are not intelligent, cannot rationalize a decision, and cannot function independently, all of which are human capabilities. In the same family, there is the kissing robot developed in Singapore. Kissinger actually reproduces someone's kiss, bringing long-distance couples together. The invention seems harmless, as it simply allows two people to lessen the distance between them. But it's proven to be something more intimate. Today, people are actually kissing robots. Jumping from a robot we kiss to one we pet, this robot isn't just a simple avatar, but a separate entity, not controlled by man, and actually capable of nurturing a relationship like a pet. These are robot companions, and it is a market that is beginning to take off throughout the world. In Europe, a new investment fund of 60 million euros called Robotics Capital has been created. It is aimed at helping startups that develop service robots or robot companions. The fund's founder, Bruno Bonnell, is also the head of Robopolis, which is a leading distributor of personal robotics in France.
The interface between man and machine is going to become more and more natural. The main evolution in the relationship between man and robot is we won't control it anymore. Instead, it will become a part of our lives. We will have to trust it.
Une partie de notre vie, on doit lui faire confiance.
Bruno Bonnell believes strongly in the future of these small, likable robots, designed to distract us, keep us company, and who knows what else.
What's interesting with these robots is to understand that we can develop a relationship with objects that are made of metal, plastic, or silicone, and not made of flesh and blood.
Certain robot companions have already fulfilled a role in our lives. Among the first places to use this technology is retirement homes. In Australia, we already have an example with the robot Matilda. This robot can dance, read, play a game, and even remind patients to take their medicine. It also gives the staff members a chance to take a break. In 2050, there will be more seniors over 60 than young people, leading to a lack of caregivers. With life expectancy rising, the first target of robot companions is seniors. But replacing retirement home personnel with robots remains a controversial subject and raises important ethical questions. Do we want to give robots a real place in our society? In France, sociological surveys will be conducted before venturing down this path. The staff at the private retirement home, Les Charmilles, is still very much human. The sociologist Frank Guichet and the doctor Anne Moreau have come to evaluate how residents are responding to the idea of being in the company of robots. After evaluating the needs and challenges of everyday life for the residents, the sociologist asked them if they think the robot could handle all of their requests.
For example, if it reminded you to take your medicine.
Probably good for some people, I think.
I can take him by myself.
Yeah, but in a few years, you don't know. Maybe you need someone to help remind you. And if the robot can do that, then all the better.
Well, still, I doubt it.
It's a question of acceptance. There is no doubt about the technology. The incertitude lies in the people's acceptance. We don't really know if people will accept these types of robots.
And what is it that the robots can offer? Can they bring comfort? Maybe comfort. If there's a robot that can clean the floor, maybe that can comfort someone. But can the same robot bring happiness or joy? That's the question.
That's a pile of crap. I like the staff here. The staff is wonderful. No, they couldn't go. We'd miss them too much. If you have something bothering you, you can talk to them. But with a robot, you can't.
Okay. Being able to confide in someone, sharing your worries, your concerns, that's something you build in a relationship. It's not something that you do easily.
Well, we'll see.
So the main concerns are the loss of social ties, the fear of not understanding the robot, and the difficulty of creating a real relationship with the machine, to really imagine interacting and exchanging with it. And that's just where a brand new robot that has taken the world by storm comes in.
Let's talk about robots now. An artificial intelligence, a company in France, creating a robot. A robot now. 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 Now.
The Now robot.
Aldebaran Robotics, a French startup, has revolutionized robotics by creating a machine that is capable of cognitive behavior, a robot able to communicate with humans. This small humanized robot, who goes by the name of Now, truly fascinates. Already in trials at a few select universities, hospitals, and businesses, it seems to be the pinnacle of companion robots, the robot that is capable of adapting to each and every one of us, the personal robot. Laurence de Villers, a researcher at the CNRS, is performing tests on Now to increase its efficiency, enhance its communication skills, and make it more personal and more unique. The objective is to give the robot the ability to meet people and to understand their emotions.
Now you're so strong. I'm so happy with you.
J'ai reconnu une femme, c'est Marie. J'ai reconnu la satisfaction.
In order to do this, Marie has trained the robot by exposing it to dozens of different voices, teaching it to identify variations in tone, rhythm, and lilt, and then to determine the emotion that each individual is expressing.
Tristesse.
Today, Now is working with Marie, who is purposely and constantly changing her mood.
J'ai reconnu la colère.
Ah, there you go. When you want to, you can do it.
J'ai reconnu la satisfaction.
Okay, now, that's pretty good. We can relax now.
J'ai reconnu un état neutre.
These experiments, in fact, we're carrying them out for a reason. The point is to help people in need, the elderly, or people with a handicap. Therefore, it's important to have machines that are going to understand the urgency of a situation, which are going to understand all the aspects of distress, to know how to call for help, and to try to better interact with the person.
Now, if you continue like that, it won't be okay.
J'ai reconnu la tristesse. Tu as l'air assez sûr de toi, globalement assez satisfait, assez expansif, et tu as l'air assez posé. J'adopte donc un comportement amical.
Even more impressive, Now will also be able to sense the mood of the person it communicates with, to decipher their personality, and then to adapt its own attitude accordingly.
Bonjour, je suis sensible aux émotions que tu exprimes dans la voix. Grâce à elle, je peux déterminer progressivement ton profil émotionnel et adapter mon comportement. Plus tu me parleras, et plus le profil se stabilisera.
Okay, that's good news now.
Tu as l'air assez sûr de toi, globalement assez satisfait, assez expansif, et tu as l'air assez posé. J'adopte donc un comportement amical.
It's about seeing what state the person is in and knowing how to speak to them. So it's both the emotion and the interaction. The robot must have a strategy to further engage the person, encouraging a desire to communicate. So it's about creating a system that doesn't respond in the same way to everyone, but rather a system that can adapt to each personality and therefore can better interact and respond to the needs of each person.
Tu as l'air peu sûr de toi, globalement très insatisfait, très réservé, et tu as l'air très posé. J'adopte donc un comportement directif.
Okay.
In real situations, Now won't say its analysis aloud. Today, it's just for the exercise. Now can't have its own emotions, but it is able to understand and adapt to ours.
Assez insatisfait, assez réservé, et tu as l'air assez posé. J'adopte donc un comportement empathique.
It's an evolution that just might dramatically revolutionize man's relationship with machines.
More people will begin thinking about integrating robots like this, to understand how they can help our well-being and to eliminate the old cliché of robots that are clunky or useless or even worse. We must start strategizing more broadly with sociologists and experts within the human sciences. It's a debate that must take place as the technology is being created.
Our relationship to robots raises questions. Are we ready to rub elbows so intimately with machines? Will it limit our relationships with our fellow man, or worse, isolate us even further from one another? Could robots' arrival be a danger to our society? The sociologist Marina Mastrudi analyzes these exact questions.
A companion, meaning something which can replace a human relationship, has to be something that in my opinion, is unpredictable. For a relationship to even be possible, having responses that are not predictable, that are not already codified, that are not just written in a question-answer pattern. With animals, we have this type of relationship. A dog, a cat, any pet has its own behavior, and it's capable of engaging in a relationship, something that constantly changes. With robots, they ask a question and then wait for a response. And the robot in this case isn't really interested in the response. It might be able to pretend. Maybe. Is that satisfying? For me, I don't think so.
Marina is most critical of the robot's lack of empathy and originality in conversation. Technology has already advanced to address this criticism. Certain research groups are working on a way to give robots a personality. Researchers at the Institute of Internet and Multimedia in Paris focus on the development of artificial intelligence robots. Jean-Claude Houdin prefers to refer to them as creatures. He feels that enriching the gray matter of machines has nothing to do with putting them in metal cases like most robots. Instead, he works directly with a computer interface, which are virtual entities, like avatars in video games.
Hello, Mina.
Hello. Please tell me about your problem.
Jean-Claude Houdin is talking to an agent. Her name is Mina House.
Sorry, you are not playing a new video game.
I think I love you.
Will you kiss me if I ask? Sorry, I'm just kidding. Come on, don't look out of the window. People will think that's Halloween.
This artificial intelligence comes from calculations and mathematical algorithms that transform virtual personalities into perfect communicating agents.
You're a stupid program.
It is easy to be brave from a safe distance. Intelligence is not your top quality, but you probably have another gift.
Mina is cynical because Jean-Claude has given her that personality. He has also programmed other personalities into Mina, including one inspired by the main character of the TV series House.
Tell me why.
There is behavior with traditional characteristics. There is also behavior when she is angry, or when she is happy, or when she wants to tell a joke. It's a complete set.
Hey, I like learning from you human beings.
This type of character construction allows it to have a personality that immediately creates a certain empathy, because its responses aren't going to be typical or boring, and so will capture the attention of the user who is trying to carry on a dialogue with it.
The sentences or questions aren't entirely programmed either. Jean-Claude gave the agents the ability to search for additional information via the internet and therefore can introduce new responses. The illusion is that you feel as if you're speaking not to a machine, but to a real human being.
Tell me else, could such inordinate and low desires?
Ultimately, these creatures will be able to memorize our conversations and feed off our exchanges. The more they interact with us, the more intelligent they become.
It's still the programming that's consistently being improved, but these creatures, these personal assistants that help us and respond to our daily problems, are already here. This technology is upon us today.
But do we really want to interact with a machine, even if it has a rich and colorful pre-programmed personality? In reality, without realizing it, we are already getting used to it.
Who are you?
Je suis Angie, ton assistant digital.
Where do you live?
Je vis dans un monde virtuel.
Are you married?
Je suis célibataire. Auriez-vous un agent digital à me présenter?
In today's world, you won't shock anyone by speaking on your cell phone. And now, having a virtual agent on your cell phone is becoming equally as common and accessible.
What's the weather in Paris?
Ville de Paris, IDF, France, 12 degrés Celsius, généralement nuageux.
Mayan is talking to her personal assistant, Angie. It's a virtual agent that is capable of responding to basic demands.
What's on TV tonight?
Voici le programme télé.
Give me a gift idea for Sebastian.
Voici les préférences de Sébastien Fertile. Musique, Secret Connexion.
Donc il a été recherché en fait sur Facebook. So it actually researched Sebastian's preferences on Facebook, and it told me that Sebastian likes music from Sacred Connection. Now, it's going to search if there are any concerts coming up or, for example, a collector's box if there is one. It searches through advertisements, affiliations, and so on. Change my Facebook status.
Quel est ton nouveau statut?
Angie is extremely capable because it has access to all the user's personal information, their agenda, their favorite websites, their social networks. It learns everything about the user and even makes suggestions.
For instance, if I'm out for a walk and it's Mother's Day, it'll buzz my cell phone and tell me, "Don't forget it's Mother's Day today. There's a florist just around the corner. You can't see it, but I know it's there because I can geolocate where you are." And then it might say, "Go on, it'll be quick, and then you'll be able to take flowers home to your mom." So there you go. It's proactive, and it's actually kind of thinking for me.
Je t'épaule donc dans certaines tâches quotidiennes pour te faire gagner, je l'espère, un peu de temps précieux. Voici les anniversaires des 7 prochains jours.
Angie and other artificial creatures and robots are evolving in a world defined by man. They have access to our information, internet, and personal data because we have given it to them. They remain dependent on us for their progress. We control the limits of their evolution. Yet, there are researchers who have decided to go one step further and liberate robots from their dependent status. A program has been designed that activates a robot's ability to learn on its own. His name is iCube. This small robot has precise, flexible gestures and is capable of learning like a human child. At the University of Jussieu in Paris, in the Institute of Intelligent Systems and Robotics, iCube is a student. And the researcher, Vincent Padois, is his main teacher. A team of researchers gives iCube hours of classes in order to enrich his ability to learn by himself.
There it is. It has it. It seems stable.
C'est s'inspirer du développement chez l'enfant
The programming that allows the robots to learn and to adapt their behavior is inspired by what we observe in the development of real children.
The group of teachers will give the small robot a new exercise today. Touch the green ball to the red ball.
We didn't give it the solution. We gave it the mechanisms that allow it to learn how to find a solution. It's more complicated than the typical approach to robotics, where we code the solution, but the solution only applies to the coded circumstances.
Instead of programming all of iCube's actions, the researchers want to give it the ability to seek its own solutions to the problems it is given. By finding the best solution on its own to different situations, it is responding intelligently.
At the beginning, it doesn't know anything, so the green ball goes in the wrong direction. And then, little by little, as it figures out what it did wrong, it improves.
iCube will memorize its movements and learn from its errors. The more attempts it makes, the more it will progress, and over time, it will touch the red ball more and more quickly and efficiently.
The idea of learning is to provide the mechanisms of adaptation to the robot, and then slowly stray away from the paradigm where everything is pre-programmed and where there is no liberty for the robots to adapt.
Ça marche vachement bien, hein?
Freed from the systematic programming of individual actions, the robot is now able to adapt and face completely new situations. Liberated from human control, the robot has acquired independence. Imagine a robot capable of learning on its own, like iCube. Add in the emotional aptitude of Nao.
J'ai reconnu la colère.
Give it the agility of Asimo. And the intelligence and personality of Mina.
I like learning from you human beings.
And finally, conceal it in artificial skin. You now have an entirely new being in front of you that doesn't exist yet, but will probably become part of our daily lives one day.
Imagine that this robot would be able to clean the house and make dinner. You send it an email with what you want to eat, and when you get home, everything is clean and your dinner is ready. You would save hours every day.
It will allow people to stay at home because there will be a robot present, able to make good decisions, and call a doctor if something goes wrong.
The opposite effect is also possible. Not only are we not fixing the problem of isolation, but we are making it worse.
It's not insignificant to put a baby in front of a television. It's also not insignificant to place a robot in a family. It has an impact. We must ask what is possible and what is desirable.
I don't think we can live without a connection with others. So we're going to have to think of solutions that aren't just technical.
Is it evolution? Is it progress? Will the robot become part of our lives? I'm sure of it. We can't prevent it, and we can't be for or against it.
Today, robots can understand our gestures, our voices. Tomorrow, they will be able to understand our thoughts, our desires, and who knows, maybe some people will fall in love with robots.
And that's why it's not going to stop, because it can't stop.
Designed to become our everyday partners, they are coming, whether we like it or not. And all humans will have to accept the idea of living with robots. However, how far these new relationships go is up to each of us.
Nao, je me présente, je m'appelle Stéphane.
J'ai reconnu un homme, c'est Rodolphe. J'ai reconnu un état neutre.
Let's shake hands.
Ça, c'est pas sympa.
En fait, j'utiliserai plutôt le clavier parce que la souris, je la maîtrise pas bien.
Et à ce moment-là, ça ne marche pas. Donc on va la refaire.
Mais j'y crois pas quand même.